What's going on? This is From Nothing to Something Else. You know who I am. God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call. So stop thinking it's spam or the wrong number and accept that God knows who and what He's talking about. This summer I went to Rancho Santa Marta, an orphanage school in Mexico. I went with 16 members from my church, and only 2 people out of the 16 had experience doing any of the construction work or being able to translate so we could understand the work that needed to get done. But either way, all 16 of us answered the call, and we went out there. We dug trenches, we poured concrete, we painted classrooms. Some people built fences. Some people removed shingles off of roofs. There was a pool that got painted. There was a whole lot of work that had to get done. And I'll be honest, before I got out there, I had doubts about myself and questioned whether I could do any of the work and last throughout the week, because if I'm being honest with y'all, your boys are getting a little older, alright? My back hurt, my knees be giving now, I just can't do it like I used to. So I was worried if I could make it through the week. But here's where I understood that this wasn't an automated recorded message that God sends out to the group. God called us individually because I did what I do, and I brought my camera to document the trip and to make a promo video to recruit more high schoolers to come next year. Yeah, I did that. But I also asked the director of the orphanage if he could use some of my photos for their newsletter or for their website. But he asked if I could make them a slideshow that could be shown to all the children after our big dinner that we have together with all the families and all the volunteers on the last night there. And of course, I did it. I made a slideshow. And let's just say when we showed that slideshow to the kids, they went crazy. They cheered. They asked to see it again. And for me, it was the first time that I ever got an encore for a slideshow. And honestly, it wasn't even the hardest project done at the school and orphanage that week. And it definitely wasn't even the most cinematic video that I personally have ever made. It was just a simple slideshow of the faces of the families and children that live and grow up there at this orphanage. And almost every single volunteer that worked there that week on numerous back-breaking projects that will probably be there and last for maybe 20, 30 years. They came up to me and said that the video, the slideshow, made the biggest impact on them while they're there the whole week. Now, before we started work that week at the orphanage, our volunteer group got together and we all discussed the things that we would hope to get out of the trip and what impact that we hope to make. I simply said I hope to do some kind of work that will make a big impact for the children and all the families there at Rancho Santa Marta. And again, God called me and set me up to do what I do. When the director asked me to make a simple slideshow, my response was, yeah, no big deal. But it ended up fulfilling the things that I hoped to do while I spent my time in Rancho Santa Marta. It wasn't the backbreaking work. It wasn't doing the trenches and pouring the cement. The impact that I hope to make, the type of impact that will last a lifetime of those who lived there and went to help, was a simple slideshow. Again, it wasn't an automatic call from God that was sent out to the group of people. God called me and set me up to make a bigger impact than I thought I would. But again, God called each individual and qualified them to do their specific part. And at the end of the trip, we all made an impact that will last years after we left. So, think about your week or next week or the next few weeks. And when you have to do something that you feel unqualified or you feel it's outside your comfort zone, and see how God works through your willingness rather than your experience. Because again, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the call. So pick up the phone. Until next time.